Happy Friday, October the 20th. Koki Cox here live from AlphaVest headquarters here in Charleston, South Carolina. It'd be really nice to be able to bring you some great positive and upbeat news this week as we do 3 for 3 in weekend review. So I'm going to try. So thanks for sticking with us and your engagement and your feedback. I've appreciated hearing from you. This week's 3 for 3, I'd like to touch on in more depth, as well as with an apology about Hamas. I'd like to talk football and birthdays. So perhaps we can sprinkle in some positivity here. But and starting with Hamas, I just want to own to my followers and clients and investors at large. I just had a regret with having pushed out to email and blog last week the headline of from Hamas to higher than now, higher than normal rates, or higher for longer rather, and not really diving into Hamas, and just it felt insensitive. I didn't actually get any backlash or any negative comments. I just, in retrospect, having spent so much time this weekend with the headlines and with the atrocities and all that we're seeing, and knowing all that we're not seeing that's actually going on, it's just it's disgusting and sad beyond belief. And while this is not a political comment, I just wanted to own my side of the street and say that this is just a terrible, devastating thing. My heart goes out to um, all Jewish Americans, all Jews across the nation, especially those that are um, under siege. And, I've had the opportunity to talk with clients who have children and grandchildren and nieces and nephews who are not only fighting for their lives, but fighting for their country, as well as saving the lives of others in ERs across Israel. So, with that, my heart goes out to everyone here and abroad, and it's a really sad time, and it's empowering me to read and I've got 3 books in the queue. Um, on my Kindle, and I really want to understand the conflict more. But beyond that, I just want to say that I wished I had gone in deeper and didn't just put it out there as a headline that's affecting the stock market and your portfolios. It is, and that's primarily what this 3 for 3 is about. But I just thought this week warranted a little more conversation about it. That said, moving on to, let's see, how about birthdays? I want to give a shout out. My mother's 77th. Yes, Gigi, I said it. Sorry. Her 77th is this weekend. And, hitting a new year is always a great opportunity to give thanks for um, a new year and new opportunities, and, reaching for different heights. So I hope if you have a birthday coming near, you'll be doing the same. I did give a shout out for Perfect Day last week and had one taker on dialing into Perfect Day Connect. That offer still stands. If it's a great opportunity when you hit a birthday to dial into and clarify for yourself and refocus and rewire your brain for what do perfect days look like for yourself. And I'm offering it 100 off is the code at perfectdayconnect.com. So dial into that. That might change the tone of all the negativity and what's going on with markets. And then, I said I'm going to talk football. I had the incredible opportunity to be at my daughter's parents' weekend this weekend at Colorado State in Fort Collins, Colorado. And I just want to tell you, as we keep seeing these markets and as we keep seeing these underdogs in our portfolios, such as the quality stocks that you see on the Dow Jones, which have underperformed all year vis-a-vis that of the S&P 500, we may be seeing a tide or a season of the underdog winning. I want you to know I've never experienced anything like this in my life, but in the last 6 minutes of the football game at Parents' Weekend, my daughter's alma mater, Colorado State, put 21 points on the board in the last 6 minutes to win the game with 0 time on the clock. So, maybe that's an analogy for what we're going to do in the last 6 minutes of 2023. So with that, I'm going to move on to the weekend review. As I mentioned, the week is going to be down again this week, most likely. The Dow is outpacing the S&P 500, down only about 0.4% versus that of about 1.5% down for the week. Winners and losers, you see here again, second week running on both winners and losers. Winners we have on the oil side. So most of our oil positions are those that are outperforming for the week. You'll see ExxonMobil up again another 6% this week. And on the loser side, you'll see most of those participants are again from our Aristocrats portfolio, or the portfolio of Dow Jones stocks that are just our high quality, high dividend paying stocks. That said, I do think it's an opportunity to stay put. While the Aristocrats model continues to have holdings that are down on the top 5 2 weeks running, I will say that the Aristocrats model is up over 17% year to date, vis-a-vis that of the S&P 500 up about 12.5%, and or the Dow, which is only up barely 2%. So even though our losers for the week are in our Aristocrats model, that model is still doing very handsomely year to date. Rounding the bin on 3 for 3, I hope this sends you into a great weekend. And again, last week we did touch on and say, let's bring more perfect days to our lives. And we did have some takers, so feel free to dial in that way. And or if it feels more appropriate as we talk about rounding the bin and maybe having some upside towards the end of the year with high dividend paying stocks, are you in the right place? Is your portfolio managed, and is your allocation appropriate for perhaps a season that's coming up of withdrawals or nearing retirement? And if you're not sure, I hope you'll grab a 3-6-10 allocation. This 3-6-10 allocation is really helping clients as well as myself dial into their risk profiles and helping us allocate their portfolios in the appropriate place. So that said, I thank you for joining me this Friday for 3 for 3, and I am sending you a perfect weekend.